Hi, now we're going to work problem 13 from Exam 3A. So this problem is on periodic inventory, and we're going to calculate merchandise inventory and cost of merchandise sold using LIFO, FIFO, and weighted average. So the point of this is, at the end of the period, whatever that is, month, quarter, year, we take a physical inventory. We go to the warehouse and we count the stuff we have. And we're going to calculate what's the value of the stuff in inventory. So what is our merchandise inventory and what is our cost of merchandise sold. And so the information we're going to have to do this is, well, we'll know what our beginning inventory was and what we paid for that. And we'll know what we purchased throughout the period. And we can use that to help us calculate the value of the stuff we still have and what our cost of merchandise sold is. So for any of these problems, you're going to have a starting point, your beginning inventory, and then some purchases, right? And you'll need to know either how many you have left or how many you sold. So in this case, there's 35 units in the physical inventory at December 31. So we start out with 15, we purchased 20, we purchased 10, we purchased 30, and on the last day of the year we went and counted and we said, oh, there's 35 still here. So we need to figure out the ending inventory costs and the cost of merchandise sold using LIFO, FIFO, and weighted average cost. So you may recall we had a problem very similar to this, 6-13, and we worked that, and there's a video for that, so you might want to look at that. In this particular situation, we're doing the exact same thing. So let's just make a little table where we're going to put our answers, right? And then we'll do our calculations. So this is problem 13, and we're going to do inventory method, right? And we're going to do merchandise inventory, and we're going to do cost of merchandise sold, right? And it's going to be FIFO, LIFO, weighted average cost. Now on your exam, I'll just have a place where you put these, right? Alright, so there we go. So we're going to do for FIFO, merch inventory, and cost of merchandise sold, LIFO, weighted average cost, same thing. So let's see what we have to work with. Okay, well, we have several different prices for units purchased different times throughout the year. So what I think is always a great way to approach these problems is to sit down and calculate your total goods, merchandise available for sale. So merchandise available for sale, so we need to know how many units did we have and how much did we pay altogether for that. So I like to just kind of sit down with my problem and work that out. So on your exam, of course, I would only expect you to fill in these blanks, but you'll have plenty of room for scratch paper, so you may want to do something like this. Alright, so we're starting out with 15 times 100, 20 times 120, 10 times 120, and 30 times 130. And we'll do our extensions. And 15 times 100 is, of course, 1500. 20 times 100, 20 is 2400. 10 times 100 is 1200. And 30 times 130 is 3900. Alright, so that means this is the units. So 15, 20, 10, and 30 means that we had available for sale, right? 75 units. And if you add these all up, that means we had 9,000. So 75 units. Those 75 units cost us $9,000. All right, so this is what we call merchandise available for sale. All right. All right, merchandise available for sale. So from that, we'll just go ahead and calculate our inventory for each of these, right? FIFO, LIFO, and weighted average cost. So let's do FIFO first. All right, and we'll do the merch inventory, because once I get merchandise inventory, I know I can just subtract that from 9,000, and that tells me what I sold. All right, so I know that there are 35 units left. And according to the rules of FIFO, first in, first out, it means the first things you sold, the first things you purchased are the first things you sold. So under FIFO, what you have left are the last things you purchased, and you sold all those earlier ones. So we sold these, we sold these. So if there's 35 units in inventory, that means we still have the most recent ones we purchased, which is 30 of those, right? And we have 5 of these, right? So merchandise inventory is, we know it's 30 times 130 equals 3,900, and or you can just pick that number up. And we know it's 5 times 120, right? 5 times 120 equals 600, right? And so 3,900 plus 600 equals 4,500. So that's my merch inventory. That is what those 35 in the warehouse are, 4,500. So I know cost of merchandise sold, that's equal to the beginning inventory plus purchases minus ending inventory. All right, so beginning inventory plus purchases is the same thing as merchandise available for sale, right? So beginning inventory plus purchases is 9,000, right? Minus ending inventory, which is 4,500. So 9,000 minus 4,500 is 4,500. So that's my cost of merchandise sold. So I'll just come up here to FIFO and put that in. 4,500 and 4,500. Great. Next, let's do LIFO, right? Merch inventory. So LIFO is the opposite. So we're assuming we sold these and we sold these, and we need to make 35 out of the oldest ones. So of course we have all 15 of these, right? So that's 1,500. Right? And to get to 35, we need all 20 of these. So that's 2,400. Right? So 1,500 and 2,400 is 3,900. Right? So that's kind of easy. Right? And so then for cost of merchandise sold, that is our merchandise available for sale, which is still 9,000. That is not going to change at all. 9,000 minus ending inventory equals 3,900. So 9,000 minus 3,900 equals 5,100. And there you go. We're done. We put those up there. 3,900 and 5,100. All right. Finally, weighted average cost. Weighted average cost is pretty easy. That's simply merchandise available for sale divided by the number of units that were available for sale, right? So we just need to figure out what's the weighted average cost. So the thing people do wrong, if there's one thing people do wrong in weighted average cost, is they take the average cost per unit. So they would take 100 plus 120 plus 120 plus 130 and divide it by 4. That's not what we're doing here. We need the weighted average cost. So clearly we sold a lot more at 130. So the weighted average cost is going to weight more towards that. All right. So we take the total extended units times the individual unit cost. So we take 1,500 plus 2,400 plus 1,200 plus 3,900 equals 9,000. Divide it by 75. So 9,000 divided by 75 equals 120. All right, and for the merchandise inventory, all right, so if the average cost per unit is 120 and there's 35, 120 times 35 is 4,200, and cost of merchandise sold is still 9,000 minus 4,200 equals 4,800. Right, so we just come up here, 4,200, 4,800, and we did it. That's it. So the key to this is remembering, calculate your merchandise inventory on either FIFO, LIFO, or weighted average cost, and subtract it from your merchandise available for sale. All right, good luck on that.